I'm here with a Radical Tumblings series and a great post by the user Lesbionist Art. That's LESBIHONEST-ART. She received an anonymous message from a person asking, or stating, "Wearing feminine, impractical clothing is not a neutral act. This is the only radfem ideology I have trouble getting behind. You are 100% right about the conditioning. Men aren't conditioned to wear heels and frills. I totally get it. But whenever I see anti-femininity in radfem spaces, it comes across as our way is the only moral way to be a woman, which is the same train of thought the patriarchy forces in women. I know radfems are against forced femininity, but at what point is it acknowledged that a woman's desire to wear a dress and makeup actually is her own will? When the patriarchy is abolished? When women aren't judged for foregoing lipstick and men can wear it to business meetings? Is it against radfem ideology to be a feminine woman? Like I said, you're right about being brainwashed to like and choose it, but this topic is the one I can't 100% get behind." Lesbionist Art replied, "No, 100% no. Let's break it down. Radical feminist critique of feminine practices like makeup and heels is not just like patriarchy forcing women to do things. It's a complete false equivalence. Men enforce social standards on women based on their deeply ingrained belief we are inferior and exist as decorative, subservient titillation for them. They also own all the big makeup companies and set makeup and heel requirements in many realms of employment for women. Radical feminists, a niche group of women encouraging women not to fall for this unfair, dehumanizing, unhealthy bullshit, are not the same as patriarchy. It's like saying, these women have been told to live in cages, you're giving them the key to open the door and ways to help them get out, but that's telling them what to do, so you're just as bad as the men forcing them to live in the cages. I just can't get on board with this part of the ideology. I choose to live in the cage." I've always rolled my eyes at women who try to make out like radfem's main critique of anti-femininity is a moral issue, because usually it stems from them personalizing the issue. Like, they have some pretty cutting things to say about makeup. I've grown to enjoy makeup and the confidence boost it rewards me. I'm treated nicer because I am being obedient to sexual standards. Am I a bad person? No, I don't want to think about that. It's radfem's fault for moralizing this. I like makeup and heels of my own free will. You aren't special. Your choice to wear heels and makeup is no less socially influenced than any other woman's. But here are some ways that makeup and heels and other femininity practices are a moral issue. All major makeup companies are owned by men. When you buy makeup, you're lining their pockets and voting with your wallet that marketing to the insecurities they manufacture in women is a lucrative business venture. It's not good for animals or the environment. When you wear makeup and heels, you are setting a bad example for every little girl and every woman who sees you. Your obedience to comply with male standards contributes to the normalization of misogynistic standards. The standards you're contributing to the normalization of in other women and girls are actively harmful, both physically and mentally. It is damaging to constantly cover your natural face in gunk, both to your mental perception of yourself and for your skin. Heels inhibit your mobility because they put your ankle in a very vulnerable position and keep your calf muscles in a shortened state. Wearing heels enough can damage you permanently to the point you cannot plant your heel. Heels have no practical use and should not exist. We are so far from the end of patriarchy, and the way you talk about it and individualize the discussion makes me think you need to do some more reading. The personal is political, and to be a radical feminist, you absolutely have to change your behaviors. To me, that has always been a motivating, hopeful thing. I can't make every disgusting man drop dead, and I can't magically free every woman from porn or prostitution, but I can change my own behavior. I can make changes that affect every woman I interact with. I've never enjoyed wearing makeup and dresses and never shaved regularly. I tried it like 3 times, but I definitely used porn and supported the prostitution and trans rhetoric and had called women misogynistic slurs. And at the time, I enjoyed doing those things. I chose to do them because they made me feel good, whether morally or otherwise. Choices can and will be critiqued. Think about all the women who parrot the same shtick of, I wear makeup or heels or shave for myself, but suddenly didn't see the point to do so once COVID restrictions hit. Think about the very few privileged women who are in the sex industry and say they enjoy it. Are their choices more important than the millions of trafficked women they're standing on to be in their position? Are their choices worth the continued perpetuation of the idea men can and will buy women? Think about women who smoke. Has their genuine desire or choice to do that made their lungs less at risk? Or anyone around them who breathes their smoke any less vulnerable? At the end of the day, radical feminism is both theory and action. Theory informs our actions, and action informs our theory. You seem to take issue with both. If you can't understand why femininity is damaging to both you and the women who see you perform it, and you're unwilling to ditch feminine practices, radical feminism might not be for you.